To play bridge to 200, you will need 12 pentomino tiles, the 100 chart, a couple of different coloured peeps, and pen and paper to keep score. The game begins by players taking in turn to draft a total of 5 pentominoes. For example, the red player might choose this one first. Then the green player might choose this. The red player chooses this, green player this, and then the red player chooses this. Now we're ready to start. Play begins with each player starting at the number 1. The player with 3 pentominoes starts. They may choose one of them and they must build a bridge from where they are to where they want to go. So they are on number 1 and they have to follow that bridge all the way to an end. There's 2 ends here, 22 or 13. So this is the red player. They can travel to either 13 or 22 and add that to their score of 1. So they might want to do 22 because that's going to get them closer to 200. So they're now on 23 and we would write this in our little scorecard. So red, 23, green. So that would look like that at the moment and we would keep adding as we go on. So once red has been there, this pentomino comes off and goes to green. This only happens on the first turn. Every other turn, each player will have 2 pentominoes to choose from. Green now must place their pentominoes and build a bridge without going through where red is. So they can't use this one unless they flip it over like this. And they might one-up red here and go on the number 23, which when you add 1 to it, it puts them on 24. So the scores at the moment are red's on 23 and green's on 24. Now, this pentomino stays on the board for red's turn. Red only gets to choose from one of these 2 pentominoes, and then after their turn, they take that one. So red might want to get a few points this time, and they'll go down this way. So they'll go from 22. They can choose to go to either 33 or 52. They'll choose the higher number here and add 52 to their total. So if they add 52 here, they're on 75 now. And then they take green's pentomino and it becomes theirs. So this happens each round. The player that has their turn places their pentomino and then takes the one that the previous player had placed. So every time you're getting to choose from 2. Green now might go like this. Go from 23 and go up to 44. And so they add 44 to their total, which puts them on 68. So red's in the lead or closer to 200 at the moment. Green would take red's pentomino. And then the game continues as players get closer and closer and try to get to 200. When players get close, so let's say for example, the scores were now red's on 190 and green's on 170. If red were here, they need only another 10 to win, but they can't get down to 10 from here, so they might have to subtract some numbers. So they might actually put this one down, and 32 is going to take them over to 222. So they might subtract the 32 instead of adding it. Players can either add or subtract the number they end up on at any point in time. There's also a special rule, 1 pentomino, this one here. It starts and finishes at the exact same spot. So if green chose this one, they would end up where they started. This is the only pentomino that you can end up where you started. The rest of them you have to follow to the very end of the pentomino. So from here to there, that's not the end. You've got to go all the way. During the game, a player may get trapped. It's now red's turn, and if they choose the cross here and move their person, doesn't really matter where, but we'll say there, they take green's pentomino, now it's green's turn. You can see that green can't possibly fit in the line here, and this piece won't fit either on the board. So if that happens, green needs to move to unlucky number 13, or if 13 is covered, red gets to choose a number that green gets to move to, and they need to either add or subtract that from their score. So look out, don't get trapped.